Hello. I get asked the question quite often, if I file a bankruptcy, will I be turned down for my bankruptcy? My name is Alan Murphy with Gillespie Murphy. I've been practicing bankruptcy law for 30 plus years, and that is a question that people often are concerned about. What if my bankruptcy is turned down? I'm back to square one, being harassed by creditors and threatened with a foreclosure or repossession of my car. Well, I want to ease your mind about that. It is rare that a bankruptcy will be turned down. I want to tell you three things you need to know to make sure as best possible that your bankruptcy will go through the court system without any hiccups or any problems. Number one, make sure that you understand the documentation that is required to complete the bankruptcy petition. A bankruptcy petition can be 75 to 100 plus pages of basic information about a person's financial situation. It sounds like a lot, but a lot of it is just basic things. Do I own a house? Do I own a car? Do I own a truck? Do I own a boat? Do I have furniture? What's my income? What's my living expenses? Have I transferred things? Have I given things away? It's okay to do all those things. You just have to make sure that you list it properly in the bankruptcy petition. The problem is most people don't understand what they need to do. If you're doing it by yourself, which means pro se representation in bankruptcy court, it can be a problem because you may not know the timeline to file a document, what exactly needs to be listed in the document, how the schedules are supposed to be prepared, how do I exempt property to protect my property. Those are the things you need to understand. So that's number one. Number two, make sure that when you're communicating with the court that you do so on a timely basis. As I said before, there are timelines to do things. There's timelines to file the petition. There's timelines to get these schedules filed, which means all the pages for the documentation. There's a timeline to meet with the bankruptcy trustee, whether it's a Chapter 7 or a Chapter 13, as to whether or not, as he's asking questions, that you provide the right information to him. Honest, accurate, truthful information. And number three, is to make sure that you attend the meeting with the trustee. It's called a 341 creditors meeting. It doesn't mean creditors are going to show up and harass you. It just means that's what it's called, is for the trustee to just ask you some questions, basic questions, to understand if you filled out the documentation correctly. He may have questions about what you filled out. He may have questions about things that you have put in there. Again, if you're representing yourself, it may be a little more awkward because you may not understand what he's asking. If you have an attorney, it will go a lot smoother because the attorney's done this for a long time. They know how the documentation should be prepared. They know the questions to expect from the trustee. They know how to answer those questions, provide information. So those are things you need to make sure about. And if you do all those things accurately and correctly and honestly and as truthful as possible, then your bankruptcy should not have a problem. 95% of bankruptcies go through without a hitch. Those 5% is when someone has been, unfortunately, dishonest and tried to hide something, tried to conceal income, tried to conceal property. That's when there's a problem. And that's what you want to avoid. Maybe you can do it pro se, but really having an attorney will make it go through a lot smoother. And quite frankly, it is a safer way to make sure your bankruptcy does not get turned down. I hope this has helped. If you need clarification on anything I have said or a better understanding about bankruptcy, how it works, and the problems that can occur, which those problems are minimal if things are done properly, I'll be glad to talk to you and tell you about that. Again, my name is Alan Murphy with Gillespie Murphy. Reach out to me at your convenience. Be glad to talk to you and see how we can help. Thank you very much. Have a great day.